So this was the stop drawing demo from this morning. A bit more finish on it, and I'm going to do another one now on the same theme of just, you know, not drawing, stop drawing. But I'm going to Santa. Look at this fella. Right. You won't sit on his knee, would you? Yeah. Right. So if this goes dead, the usual thing now with YouTube, it just drops. I'm recording it, so I'll edit it and put it up later. So if you miss it, then if it just, say, dies, it'll be up later as a proper video. Right. This is a bit different for me because it's off the page. You can see I don't usually draw. I can just about see the top of his hat there. So they don't usually draw them bleeding off the page, but I have done in the past, but not recently. So again, back to this, the not drawing thing, the not using lines. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with crap charcoal, as you can hear. It doesn't really make much difference. I'm as I said this morning, you kind of learn to live with what you're working with. I'm not that precious that it has to be perfect and it's, you know, or else it won't work. You know what I mean? I think that was what I was saying this morning about, you know, you should be able to use any medium. Whether or not you can use it like somebody else uses it is irrelevant. You know, it's just like that's kind of how it should be. You know, I use it this way. You can use it that way. I'll use it this way. You know, it's that kind of thing. So adapting to unruly charcoal, shall we say, is part of the course. You know, part of the course really. Let me just get the anchors in place, and I'll worry about the shapes of things then. But once I've got it something like, which what I'm looking at when the anchors, it's like there to be his nose, to the way the chin is, that kind of thing. And then where there's extremities and where there's, you know, an obvious end to something or a marker for something, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not committing to anything. I'm not trying to put outlines around anything. This is the not drawing thing. And then the rest of it really is just that's it. That's the extremities of everything. Now I can now, because it's going to be wrong. This is the time when everything should be wrong, right? Don't wait until the end to make things wrong. You're going to get it wrong to start with. Get it out of the way. Once it's you start to draw it properly, you don't want to be making the wrong marks. You don't want to be putting things in the wrong place. Make sure you make all the mistakes at this stage, and that way it will help you to draw it better. Because knowing, you can easily see what's wrong, and once you can see what's wrong, you can see what should be right. You know, you have to fix it, and that's the way of approaching it, rather than thinking, right, it's going to be perfect from the get-go. It can't be. You know what I mean? It can't be. Not drawing freehand and not using you're not using any kind of geometry or knowledge-based development construction. So for me, this is the best bit. This for me is the most exciting bit, because this is the bit that you on that edge. You know, this is teetering on the edge of failure, and all the adrenaline is running and all that kind of thing. It's the best bit. You know, finishing it. You know, the colouring in bit is there's no excitement in it. I'm slowing down and I'm just tweaking this and tweaking that and just getting a bit fed up with it, you know, as you do. And but with this stage, there's so much that's wrong with it, and it's that bit, you know. And then add to that you know the charcoal's not doing what it should be doing, and it's all a bit scratchy, and it's just not making the marks flowing enough. And if you've seen me do the in the past, you've seen sometimes when the charcoal really flows. You know, it's a smooth burn, for instance, and the the makeup of the charcoal is so fine. I don't know whether or not it would be like a vine. I suppose it might be. I've never really had any decent vine. I've bought vine charcoal, but to me, I think it's just one of those cheap brand things. Pretty sure that there's a difference in the brands, and I bought Winsor & Newton and De La Rowney and all that kind of thing. But I think there's proper. I've seen sort of classic brands that people buy. Maybe those are better. So I'm not really an expert in charcoal. My friend John Farinov he knows all about it, but I think he uses a mixture. He uses everything, I think. And I've seen him using nitrum and all that sort of thing. So he's probably more expert in charcoal than I am. But for me, it's I don't know. It's the fun is in the making it work kind of thing, as much as the capturing all the little sort of marks that imply and suggest. I love all that as well. I think of all the things that I like doing is when you sort of it just like comes together. And this is doing it now. I love all that. It's just even if it's not exact drawn exactly, you can just see that the face starts to evolve. We're going back to the lines thing, not drawing in the traditional sense, making marks that capture, as opposed to lines that capture and then applying marks to the lines as a kind of a parameter, so you kind of draw parameters around where you're going to color in that one. I think this doing the other way, doing it where I'm almost doing the coloring in bit at the beginning, the bit that applies the tones and works out the shape of things. I'm kind of doing it at the beginning of it, which is I think to a lot of people is a bit strange and difficult, I would imagine. I mean, I have developed this way of working simply out of not wanting to get bogged down by the technicalities of things. I mean, that, as I said this morning, it is definitely impatient and lazy. That's what kind of drives it. So I've always felt that I just want to get this done. You know what I mean? And it suits the freehand thing as well. It suits the way that when you're working freehand, how you're not working to, or some do, but not working to some kind of measurement scale. So, and that is again a thing that I think this is the me think. I think that developing a good visual accuracy is going to impact on everything, whether it's the way that you see tones or mix colors or whatever. Visual accuracy is going to be all part of that. If you can see colors, if you can see tones, as I say, it's observation, visual accuracy, it's all that kind of stuff. Not sure how much of the beard at the bottom I'm going to draw there, but I'm going to switch to charcoal because this is a bit nasty, that one now. But now that's getting things and roughly in the right place. I'm going to start on the shapes themselves because I did find the locations and the shapes things all at once. So that was kind of what you saw in that. But the next phase, you know, if you want to say there's is the phases to what I